Today I would like to introduce a small but very important part of Kingfisher Labels team. I'm chatting with its sales director, Andy Watts, and production manager, Karl Jackson. Andy and Karl, welcome to our video series. How are you both?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Last year, the company announced financial results for the 12 months ending January 2020. And it marked a record trading year for your company in the history with 20% turnover increase. A year before that, Kingfisher installed several pieces of new equipment as part of his £1 million investment plan. But let's start at the beginning, as this is the main reason we're catching up today. The company was founded in Bristol in 1996, which means you are now approaching an important milestone, a quarter of century on the market. Can you briefly tell us about the company history, please?
Yeah, no problem. So it was probably over 30 years ago now that my dad actually got made redundant from quite a large packaging company. And from there, he saw a place in the market to start a business. Because unfortunately it was quite hard to find a job at that time, and the business was named after the street that we lived in. We lived in Kingfisher Road in Yate, and we managed to acquire a 1,000 square foot unit in St Anne's in Bristol. My dad did a deal with Mark Andy for an 830 3-color machine. And that was all done in the kitchen with the Mark Andy rep. And from there, the business grew quite well. They started off with just 3 or 4 members of staff. My mother was actually a rewinder. My dad was a printer at the time, so he was running the Mark Andy machine. And then we had another guy called Stan. He was a salesman. And they had a lady that was doing the accounts. And on from there, really, over the next three to 5 years, we bought another 2 3-color Mark Andys. And I think at that time, it got too tight in that factory to progress anymore and to be able to buy bigger machinery. And at that stage, my dad managed to find a new unit in Yate, so close to where we live. And that was 3 times the size of St Anne's. So we went up from 1,000 square feet to 3,000. And I think within a year, he bought our first stack press from Edel, which was an Edel Alpha. And we moved on to 4 colors, the ability to be able to change our Analox rollers a lot quicker, Dr. blades, which increased our productivity because you could run the machines faster, and also the aim was to get better quality and to be able to produce fine screens where we were just predominantly doing block and line work. And then from there, we managed to get hold of Andy Watts, and he became our sales director. And over the next coming 2 years, Andy managed to bring a hell of a lot more work to the business with all of his assets from previous companies. And over the next 5 years from there, we managed to purchase another 2 stack presses. So that brought our Edel Alphas to 3. Increased colours. So we moved from 4 colours to 5 colours. So it gave us a chance to do 4-color process and a varnish. And we were always sort of battling really because we were limited to just those 4 colours and varnish. And we spoke to Edel and we sort of did a project with them to try and increase our colours. And at the time we couldn't afford to buy a Beta, which was a modular machine. in line, 8 colours. It was too much of a stretch, and we managed to have a good relationship with Edel, and we did a project where we put 2 alphas together, so that we could have 10 colours. So, you know, a 5-colour alpha and one behind with a line shaft that join them together. And with a few tweaks and some discussions about being able to separate one stack from the other so that we could set one up while we were running the other one, we managed to buy the first ever Edel multi. So it was a 10-colour stack press. You know, it gave us the ability again to have a couple of spot colours, a full process set, maybe a textured varnish or a gloss varnish, and that got very tight in that unit, being only 3,000 square feet. We needed to progress again and move the business forward. So we went to 3 times the size again, still in the 8, but just around the corner. So we're now in 10,000 square feet. And I think we were probably here for 2 years, and then we did an investment of buying a second-hand Edel Beta that myself and a few other colleagues here refurbished over a 6-month period while we were still running our other machines. And that took us forward again to, you know, be able to produce labels on PET 23, which, you know, is now moving forward because of recyclability, and being able to do DLAM, RELAM, print on the reverse. It just opened up more avenues, and something good for Andy to be able to go to the customers and say, look, we can now do this. Do you have anything else? And, you know, Andy did a good job at bringing loads of work to the table again. And we then decided to move forward to a full servo Edel FL3. And at the same time, we went to 350 wide from 250. Our productivity, it just made it so much easier. And from there, we could see the benefit straight away that, you know, our time and our waste was almost half, and we just couldn't help but buy another one. So we ended up with, you know, an 8-colour and a 6-colour FL3 full servo. And last year, or maybe the year before, we did our record volume of 1 million square meters. And, you know, on a single shift is quite impressive. And probably Christmas this year, just before Christmas, we decided to purchase another one. So in August, we have another FL3 arriving.
Wow.
And our look towards the future really is to just keep investing in our people and our equipment, and that way, you know, the customers get the best quality products and service.
Fantastic. That sounds like a very long and interesting journey to that success for the last 30 years. Amazing job. You must be very proud to run the company. Your parents managed to open and sign the first deal in the kitchen. It must be incredible looking back at it now. Are you planning any celebrations because of 25th anniversary at the moment?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we spoke about having open days. This is prior to the pandemic. We had big things scheduled for this week. We hopefully still later on in the year will have an open day or many open days, because since the start of our business sort of 25 years ago, you know, our ethos about the business is always relationships with our customers. We still now look after the same customers we did 25 years ago, and we're proud, like Karl's mentioned. You know, me and Karl are very good friends. We work very close together. We don't ever argue. And I think what comes across from us is our passion. So we look after people, we invest in people, but we also look after our customers, and we like to treat them as friends. So our way of being proud of our business is to invite them in and show them how proud we are of our company, Kingfisher Labels, and show them exactly what we've invested in and how it will help them long term and help obviously drive down costs going forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you mentioned the company does. Do you think what else is a big secret behind the success of Kingfisher?
Personally, I think it's all about relationships from our point of view. The people that we have at Kingfisher Labels have all been here a number of years. We like to invest in, very good talent. So we're always continually speaking to various organisations and people within various organisations. But the mainstay of our business is the people that have been here. We like to train people within our company because we want people within our organisation so that when people go around, they know exactly what they're talking about. And I think if you invest in people, they help with your business going forward as well.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So if you look back at the last year, it was a very difficult year for lots of companies, completely new conditions we had to all adjust to. How did COVID affected you, and how did you manage to stay afloat?
When COVID first broke, I believe it was March of last year, to be quite honest, myself and Karl looked at each other, and I probably, like many other businesses, thought, oh my goodness, what's now going to happen to the company? I think we're very fortunate that we have got a broad range of customers and clients. I think we also look after the NHS as well as food and beverage, cosmetics, etc. I think ultimately what it's done is brought us all together closer as a company. We spoke to people daily about conditions. We implemented obviously safety working environments. We spoke on a daily basis with our employees to ensure that they were first and foremost safe and well, and they were happy working in those conditions. We implemented obviously the 2 metre, guidance, government guidance, one-way systems within Kingfisher Labels, spacing out in the office. So we're pretty much on a daily basis liaising with our customers and our employees.
I mean, to go on from what Andy's saying, we were having a weekly meeting with all of our staff. We're having them all in the factory, keeping a 2 metre distance, and having a good meeting with them. I think to start with, people were scared. They were generally scared to come to work, to think they might get something, or maybe the possibility that they might actually die from COVID. They were that worried that no one knew anything. No one knew if you were just going to be poorly with a cold, or you were going to end up in hospital. And I think Andy did a very good job in supporting our staff and coming up with the weekly meeting and just informing people, saying, are you okay? Are you happy to carry on?
A few months ago, we've written an article about Kingfisher Labels, and I still remember how important it is for the company to cherish those relationships with your partners as well as your employees. And what's your secret for the talent retention? There's lots of talk currently within the industry about attracting new talent. Have you got any ideas how to retain people within the factory?
First and foremost, I think at the core value of our business is our employees. So whilst we're a family business, that's first and foremost. I know it sounds very corny, but our employees, we do think a lot of them, and I'd hope that they think the same about us. That we're not just sat at our desk, ignoring them. We look after them. We ensure that we have a monthly pizza that we all get together and we can literally sit down and have a talk about general things, because our industry is so fast paced that I think it's important that you keep your core values in terms of looking after your staff. Going forward from that, what you touched on there was that we are always looking for good people to join our business. Mm-hmm. We've just appointed 2 very good people, unfortunately from the demise of another organisation. but we've been liaising with people all the time about the opportunities to join what we are very proud of business.
Fantastic. I think you said that something about the communication. I think that's a big secret as well, to keep communicating with your staff and keep that relationship going. Could you finally share some outlook for the future? What can we expect from Kingfisher?
So going forward, we are still investing in people, we're still investing in machinery, and we're still looking at bigger premises. Like Karl mentioned, in the last 5 years especially, we've really invested a lot of money in capabilities to take us to that next level. We're also investing heavily in people, taking us to that next level. And it's very exciting times at the moment, because we're also looking at a new opportunity within a new manufacturing plant, hopefully, which may be double the size of what we're currently in. So within a sort of 10-year period, we've gone from a 3,000 square foot factory to a 10,000 square foot factory. And going forward, it's going to be a 20,000 or 15 to 20,000 square foot factory going forward. So it's really exciting times at the moment to join Kingfisher Labels.
Wow. Oh, perhaps that's the best news and the best celebrity news for 25th anniversary. Huge plans. Well, thank you very much both for taking the time to catch up with us.
Oh, thank you very much.
Huge congratulations for your 25th anniversary. It was lovely to chat to you, and we are looking forward to hearing more from Kingfisher soon, hopefully.
Great. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and make sure to click the subscribe button at the top of the screen. You can see more videos from this playlist by clicking the video on the right, or click the video on the left to see all of our other videos.